Hello everyone, this is Glenda Winkleman and welcome back to Creative Grandma. Today I'm showing you part one of a four-part series of how you can take one item and turn it into four. Now I did a sneak peek of this on my giveaway the other day, but I'm just going to review. This is the pattern for today. This pattern is the Floral Lace Coaster. It's pattern number 533, and there will be a link in the description box that will take you right to my website if you'd like to get the pattern. Now I am using Premier Home cotton yarn. Now you only need a few yards of 3 different colors for this project. So this is wonderful for using up all those odds and ends of, you know, when you make a dishcloth and you just have that little bit left over but you don't want to throw it away, because this is perfect for doing your flowers, your center. Now you can change the color scheme if you want. Now this one, these 3 were made using sage green in the middle. This one was blue, yellow, pink. I brought the sage green back out and I used the white in between. And then this sample here I made using a multicolor for the flower petals and the light blue in the center with the white. So that's one with the multicolor. And then I made another sample where I brought the center color out to the petals and did yellow and blue. So there's some of my samples. So now what I want to show you is part 2. I'm going to show you how to take this coaster and turn it into this dishcloth. So you're taking this center, turning it into a dishcloth, and then I'm going to show you how to take this center. We're going to change it just a little bit, and then we're going to turn it into this gorgeous granny square. And then part 4, I'm going to show you how to take this center, and we're going to use size 3 crochet thread, and we're going to make this doily. So now on with this video here, I'm going to get back to our coaster. This is part 1, and again, this video is just for the coaster. And you're going to need just a few yards of 3 different colors, and you're going to need a size G6 crochet hook. So go ahead and grab your yarn, grab your hook, a size G6 or 4 millimeter, and I'll be right back and we'll get this little project started. I have my yarn tied around my hook, and I'm starting with my sage green. So we're going to begin by chaining 4. So yarn over the hook, pull it through that loop, that's your first chain. Yarn over the hook, pull it through, that's 2, 3, and 4. We're going to skip these first 3 chain, and we're going to come down into this 4th chain from hook, your last chain, and we're going to slip stitch that together to form a ring. Insert your hook into that last chain, yarn over the hook, pull it through that chain, and pull it through the loop on your hook. Now you're going to pull this apart a little bit, and we're going to work all of our stitches in that little tiny hole right there in the center of our ring. So to work round 1, we're going to work a bobble stitch and a chain 2 7 times in our ring. Now the first bobble stitch will be a little different because we're going to chain 1 for the first half of that stitch. So chain 1, yarn over the hook, insert it into the center of that ring, yarn over the hook, pull it back through that ring. You have 3 loops on your hook. Pull that hook up just a little bit, yarn over the hook, and pull it through all 3 loops on your hook, and that is your first bobble stitch. Now our bobble stitch, we're using half double crochets, and we work them halfway and then pull it through. So we chain 2, 1, 2. Now I'm going to repeat the bobble stitch again, yarn over the hook. You're going to insert it into the center of that ring, front to back, yarn over the hook, pull it back through the center of that ring, pull up on your hook. You have 3 loops on your hook. yarn over the hook, insert it into the center of that ring, front to back, yarn over the hook, pull it back through the center of that ring and pull up. You should have a total of 5 loops on your hook. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yarn over the hook and pull through all 5 loops on your hook. That's your bobble stitch. We're going to chain 2. 1, 2. Now that was our repeat. I'm going to show you one more time. I like to shove them over there so because you gotta squeeze 7 of these in there. We did 2, we need to do 5 more. Yarn over the hook. Again, this is the start of our repeat. Insert into the center of that ring, yarn over the hook, pull it back through the center of that ring. Pull up on your hook. You have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over the hook, insert it back into the center of that ring, yarn over the hook, pull it back through. You have 5 loops on your hook. Pull them apart so you can see them better. Yarn over the hook and pull through all 5 loops on your hook. Your bobble stitch is made. You're going to chain 2. 1, 2. So we have 1, 2, 3 bobble stitches made, and we have 3 chain 2 spaces made. You need a total of 7 all the way around. So repeat your bobble stitch, chain 2 4 more times, and I will meet you at the end of round 1 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 1, and you should have a total of 7 bobbles and 7 chain 2 spaces. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain 2 spaces, and you end with that chain 2 space. So now we're just going to slip stitch to the top of this beginning bobble stitch. Insert your hook under the top 2 strands of that stitch, yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch, and pull it through the loop on your hook. Now I'm just going to fasten off my work. Now for this video, I'm just going to let my ends hang right in the back, and I'm going to work over them. So I'll just take this yarn and hold it up here and work my new color right over that. So I'm going to grab my next color and I'll be right back. Okay, I grabbed my pink and I'm going to work the petals of my flower next. So I'm just going to keep about 2 to 3 inches, lay it right on top of that end of my old color, and we're going to insert our hook into that first chain 2 space after our joining bobble. So that's where we joined. Insert your hook from front to back in that chain 2 space, grab that new color and just pull it through that chain 2 space. We're going to chain 1. Now we're going to start our repeat. We're going to work 1 single crochet, 3 double crochet, and 1 single crochet in each one of the chain 2 spaces around, and this forms our petal. Now I do have my ends here. I'm going to be working my stitches right over those ends, so hold them right there. Insert your hook into that chain 2 space and work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that space, 2 loops on hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops. That's your single crochet. Now when you're working these stitches, you may have to just pull them over a little like that just to make room for all those stitches. We're going to work 3 double crochet in that same chain 2 space, yarn over the hook, insert it into that chain 2 space, yarn over the hook, pull it through that space, 3 loops on hook, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, and pull it through 2 loops. You just made a double crochet. We need to make 2 more. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that same space, and work your second double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert it into that same chain 2 space, and work your third double crochet. Insert your hook into that chain 2 space and work a single crochet. And that is the end of our repeat, and your petal is made. So I'll show you one more time. Insert your hook into that next chain 2 space. This is the start of your repeat, and work a single crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work your second double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work your third double crochet. Insert your hook into that same chain 2 space and work a single crochet. And that is the end of your repeat. So go ahead and finish around round 2. You're going to work 1 single crochet, 3 double crochet, and 1 single crochet in each chain 2 space around. I will meet you at the end of round 2 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 2, and you should have a total of 7 petals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So to join, we're just going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of this beginning single crochet. Insert your hook under those top 2 loops. Yarn over the hook, pull it through those 2 loops, or through that stitch and through the loop on your hook. And then I'm just going to go ahead and fasten off. I think I need new scissors. I'm going to grab my white, and I'll be right back to start round 3. I have my white. I'm going to leave about a 2 to 3 inch length. Now this is the front, that's the back of our work. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull our new color through, and we're going to go in to the 3rd stitch of that first petal. So you have your single crochet, a double crochet, and then that center double crochet. So count 1, 2, 3, insert your hook into the top of that stitch, and just pull that new color through. Now you can leave the end in the back, and you can weave that in after you get your round done when your little coaster is finished. That's the easiest way. We're going to chain 1. We're going to work 1 single crochet, chain 2, 1 single crochet into the center of that petal in that joining stitch. Now this is the start of your repeat. Insert your hook into the center double crochet of that petal or the 3rd stitch and work a single crochet. Chain 2, 1, 2. You're going to go back into the top of that same stitch and work a single crochet. So you just made a single crochet V-stitch. So now what we're going to do is we're going to skip the rest of the petal, and we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet between the last single crochet and the first single crochet of the next petal, and we're going down here into the top of this bobble stitch. So yarn over the hook, skip the rest of this current petal. We're going to go between the last single crochet of the current petal and the first single crochet of the next petal, and we're going 2 rows below, and we're going to just poke our hook right through the top of that stitch from front to back. Just poke it right through the top of that stitch and work your double crochet. Yarn over the hook, pull it back through that bobble stitch, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops, yarn over the hook, pull it through 2 loops. You're going to chain 2, 1, 2. Yarn over the hook, you're going to go right into that same space where you worked your first double crochet, go from front to back through the top of that bobble stitch, and work a double crochet. And you can see how the double crochet V-stitch comes up to meet your single crochet V-stitch. And that is the end of your repeat. I'll show you one more time. you're going to find the third stitch of the petal. Now your first single crochet will be covered up a little bit, so just make sure you go into that center double crochet. Count up 1, 2, 3. Insert your hook into the top of that stitch. Again, this is the start of your repeat. You're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet in that same stitch. We're going to skip the rest of our petal, and we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet between the last single crochet of this current petal and the first single crochet of the next petal, and we're going to just take our hook and poke it right through the top of that bobble stitch. Yarn over the hook, insert it from front to back, just poke that hook right through the top of that stitch, that bobble stitch 2 rounds below, and work a double crochet. You're going to chain 2. Yarn over the hook, insert it into the same top of that bobble stitch 2 rounds below, and work your double crochet. And that is the end of your repeat. And you're going to repeat that around in each petal and between each petal around. So again, your repeat is you're going to go into the third stitch of the next petal, which is the center double crochet, and you're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into the center double crochet of that next petal. You're going to skip the rest of the petal and work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet between the petals, between the last single crochet of the current petal, the first single crochet of the next, 2 rounds below, right in the top of that bobble stitch. So go ahead and repeat that around, and I will meet you at the end of round 3 and show you how to join. I'm over at the end of round 3, and this is what your work should look like. You should have a single crochet V-stitch on the top of each petal, and you should have a double crochet V-stitch between each petal. And to join, we're just going to slip stitch into the top of that beginning single crochet. Insert your hook under the top 2 loops of that beginning single crochet and just slip stitch you round together. I'm going to go ahead and fasten off my work. I'm going to grab my sage green, and I'll be right back and start round 4. I have my sage green. Now, we fastened off with a single crochet at the beginning single crochet. So what we're going to do is we're going to skip this beginning single crochet shell stitch, and we're going to insert our hook from front to back in the chain 2 space of the next double crochet V-stitch. So when we work this around, we're only working in the double crochet V-stitches. So pull your new color through, and we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. This chain 3 counts as our first double crochet. Yarn over the hook. We're going to insert our hook into that same beginning chain 2 space of that double crochet V-stitch and work a double crochet. We're going to chain 2. We're going to work 2 more double crochet in that same chain 2 space. So yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space and work a double crochet. We just made a shell stitch. We're going to chain 2, 1, 2. So now we're going to start our repeat. You're going to skip this next single crochet V-stitch, and we're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet in this next double crochet V-stitch. So yarn over the hook, insert into that next double crochet V-stitch, chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work your second double crochet. Chain 2, yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. Yarn over the hook, insert into that same chain 2 space, and work a double crochet. Your shell stitch is made, and we're going to chain 2. And then you skip the next single crochet shell stitch. So that is your repeat. So go ahead and repeat that around. You're going to skip this next single crochet V-stitch. You're going to work 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet into the chain 2 space of that next double crochet V-stitch, and then you're going to chain 2. So basically all you're doing is working your shell stitch in the double crochet V-stitch chain 2 space and then chaining 2. And you're going to do that in each double crochet V-stitch around. Go ahead and do that, and I will meet you at the end of round 4. I'm over at the end of round 4, and you can see that our shell stitch is in each of the double crochet V-stitches, and you should have a chain 2 space between each one, and you should have a total of 7 shell stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. You end with a chain 2. And now to join, we're just going to insert our hook into the top of that beginning chain 3 and slip stitch. Yarn over the hook, pull it through that stitch, and pull it through the loop on your hook. So I'm going to go ahead and fasten off, grab my white, and I'll be right back, and we'll do the last and final round of our little coaster. Okay, I have my white, and again I'm going to leave about a 2 to 3 inch length. I'm going to insert my hook right in the top of that beginning chain 3 joining stitch, right where we fastened off. I'm going to insert my hook right in that same stitch. Sometimes it's hard because I really tie a knot there. I'm just going to pull that new color through the white, and we're going to chain 1. Now this is the start of our repeat. We're going to insert our hook into this same space and work a single crochet. Insert your hook into the top of that joining chain 3 and work a single crochet. We're going to skip this next double crochet, and we're going to work a single crochet, chain 2, single crochet into this next chain 2 space. So skip the next double crochet, insert your hook into that next chain 2 space, and work a single crochet. You're going to chain 2. Insert your hook into that same chain 2 space and work a single crochet. You just made your single crochet V-stitch. You're going to skip this next double crochet, and you're going to work a single crochet into this next double crochet. Now we're going to work a double crochet, chain 2, double crochet in the next corresponding chain 2 space 2 rounds below, down in this single crochet V-stitch. So we're going to work that double crochet right around this chain 2 space, and when you work your stitch, you're going to be working it right around both this chain 2 space and the top of this stitch. So yarn over the hook, take your hook in front of your work, go from front to back through that chain 2 space of that single crochet shell, 2 rows below, or V-stitch, 2 rounds below. Yarn over the hook, pull it through, and work that double crochet. Chain 2. yarn over the hook. You're going to come down into that same chain 2 space front to back, and that yarn is going right around both the chain 2 space, both of the chain 2 spaces. Grab that yarn and work your double crochet. That was the end of your repeat. I'll show you one more time. Insert your hook into the top of that next double crochet and work a single crochet. This is the start of the repeat. Skip that next double crochet. You're going to insert your hook into that next chain 2 space and work a single crochet, chain 2, and a single crochet. You're going to skip this next double crochet and you're going to work a single crochet into the top of that next double crochet. We're going to work a double crochet, chain 2 double crochet in the single crochet shell stitch in the chain 2 space 2 rounds below. Yarn over the hook, insert it into the chain 2 space 2 rounds below and work a double crochet. Chain 2, yarn over the hook, insert it into that same chain 2 space 2 rounds below, getting a little tongue-tied there, and work a double crochet. And that is the end of your repeat, and you're going to start it all over again. You're going to work a single crochet into that next double crochet, skip the next double crochet, work a single crochet, chain 2 single crochet into that center of that shell stitch, skip the next double crochet, single crochet into the next, and then you're going to work a double crochet, chain 2 double crochet into that next corresponding chain 2 space 2 rounds below. Go ahead and repeat that around, and I will meet you at the end of round 5. I'm over at the end of round 5, and this is what your work should look like. You should have your single crochet V-stitch, and your single crochet in your shell stitch, and then you should have the double crochet V-stitch in between each shell stitch, and this is what it should look like. So we're going to go ahead and join our round. We're just going to join with a slip stitch in the top of that beginning single crochet under the top 2 loops of that stitch. Pull that yarn through, slip stitch, and I'm going to fasten off. And this is what our little coaster looks like. And again, you can make them in any colors, just a nice little coaster. Summer's coming, you're going to have those glasses of iced tea and lemonade. You don't want to ruin your tabletop. Get these coasters made. Treat yourself to something fun for the summer. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Creative Grandma with the Floral Lace Coaster. Again, this pattern is number 533, and this is part 1. Now I will be doing part 2 here in the next day or two, and again we're going to take this coaster and we're going to turn it into this beautiful dishcloth. So brighten up that kitchen, have some fun this summer, and yes, these are made to use. You can make some more. Get them in your kitchen, show everybody doing dishes can be fun. So thank you everybody for stopping by, and make sure you watch for those other 3 videos because this is a 4-part series. Happy crocheting everyone.